Well, Richard, I paid $1.5 million for this place. How much will you give me for it?
You got it very cheap. This is a place I'd like to have. I'd like to work here. This is great.
All right, I'll talk to the boss and we'll see what we can hire you for.
Give him a little plug there, will you?
Sit down and rest on this dirty old concrete for a minute, will you?
All right, sir. I'll just do that.
Richard, you want to talk to me about a movie you've made called Backlash. What is that, the story of an Australian whip cracker?
Well, I don't want to bore you to death, but I came to Atlanta to talk about this movie, Backlash. We made it at Universal. It's a Technicolor Western. Made it around Tucson, Arizona. And we got a lot of pretty scenery in it, and pretty scenery of a girl named Donna Reed. And I think it's a pretty good Western.
You got any rattlesnakes in it?
We had some, but we cut them out of the picture.
What do you play, a good guy or a bad guy in this?
Sort of in between. I never did quite figure it out.
Maybe the audience will either.
It's a mystery suspense Western, see, so we didn't want to tip our hand.
When bad guys are made, this is one of the worst here. Kiss of death, you pushed an old lady down the steps in a wheelchair and then laughed about it.
I was only trying to earn a living.
Yeah. Well, how many nasty letters did you get after that?
Oh, it's a funny thing. I don't recall too many. I think they sort of like it.
No kidding. That's the amazing thing to me. You know, I wouldn't hurt a flea, but I'd get such fiendish delight in these Charles Addams cartoons, and I laughed and enjoyed it immensely when you pushed the old lady down. What sort of psychological
What's the
quirk
matter
is
with
that?
you?
I'm normal. I'm normal.
I don't know what kind of a quirk that is. I guess it's taking your frustration out on other things, and that's one way to do it. Go to the movies.
Well, you probably get some pleasure in that, too, don't you? Truthfully, now.
I couldn't say that I really get pleasure out of it, but it's a job, and it's a part of acting, so I go along with it and try to do the part that the man's written.
Yeah, and you get money for it. Although I understand you're so rich, Richard, that you don't even have to bother with movies if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm loaded. That's why I'm here to talk about Backlash.
You like acting, though, don't you?
I do. I've acted professionally for about 18 years now. I started getting interested in it at Lake Forest College. It's a college in Illinois, and I've always enjoyed it and liked it very much.
Must have been those big tackles you played against who convinced you that acting was a good career.
They killed me. You know, I was in the wrong racket there. I played football.
Yeah.
And I tried to play end. I weighed about 145 pounds, and you bump up against a 250-pound tackle, you've had it.
You start looking for the casting director and that couch.
Quick.
Richard, this business of movie making, and especially at UI, I read some young star who says that she picked Universal International not because of money, naturally not, but because of the training that they give them.
That's very true. Universal is the only studio out there now that has any kind of training for the young people. The other studios used to have various schools and classes, but they've given it all up, and Universal is the only studio with an organized educational system for young people. So they sign the young ones and give them a daily training course, and it is a really very good school, very good for them.
I wonder if you can teach these young ladies to make love. Ann Baxter says that the trouble with modern love scenes is that they just aren't sincere enough.
I think it's just instinct. Don't you?
Is it really?
I think so. I don't think you can learn that.
I think she must have it. I'll tell you another kid that amazes me, and maybe I'm talking about the wrong studio, but Kim Novak.
Oh, she's a pretty girl, isn't she?
It's something more than that. It's an electricity that comes forth.
That's true. Movies are a funny thing. Something that you might not even see on a set or while you're working. Something comes over on film and gets the attention of the audience, and she's a prime example of that. She's got a zing and a zip to her. She's very good.
Who do you most like to make love to?
My wife.
Boy, there's a guy who's... I didn't even hand him the script either. All right, now let's put it on outside of your wife.
Well, I like to work with a lot of girls in Hollywood. Donna Reed, the girl that's in this picture, Backlash, a wonderful actress. Jean Peters, fine actress. Barbara Bel Geddes. A lot of girls.
I like this Barbara Bel Geddes.
She's
very attractive girl.
Excellent actress, too. First rate.
She's in this Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Have you ever done any stuff on Broadway?
Yes, I spent 10 years in New York after I left Lake Forest. I taught there for 2 years in the speech and dramatics department. Then I went to New York. I worked there, as I say, 10 years in radio and in the theater.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel any different, Broadway versus movies? Which do you like best?
I like both. Of course, both of them are naturally two different mediums, but both are satisfying in their own ways. I enjoy both.
Well, we'll not fire you then from either one, Richard.
All right.
Thank you a lot, and see this fella in Backlash. Richard
Thanks a lot.
Widmark.